And a lot of times, since I grew up in a very religious household, you think that poverty is next to piety. People who don't want things are holy, and people who have a lot of things did bad things to get them. The balance there is something that I am reckoning with.
So can you just start by talking about how you feel right now?
I'm very inward focused during these times, which is weird because we're releasing music and getting ready to perform in front of thousands of people, so it's like I have to step outside. And I think I'm dealing with the grief of losing a part of myself or birthing a part of myself that some people aren't necessarily ready for.
Can we talk about what your style says about you?
First and foremost, it says I do what I want. When I was young, I had to wear a uniform most of the time. I grew up in a Pan-African Christian church. I shared everything with children of my age whose parents worked full-time for the church. So I really didn't have that many belongings. When I went to college, and I was kind of introduced to thrift store shopping because that was a big thing at the college that I went to, Hampton. And that's a private school. They had all these nice clothes, very preppy, and all these things. It's like, okay, I gotta go to the thrift store. Just look the part, just fit in, And I think when we started performing more and more, it was like, okay, now this is my opportunity to do what I want to do. And a lot of times, since I grew up in a very religious household, you think that poverty is next to piety. People who don't want things are holy, and people who have a lot of things did bad things to get them. The balance there is something that I am reckoning with, not just for myself, but for my family. It's like, man, I'm tired of struggling. You don't have to struggle just to be closer to God. What if the most rich people in the world were the most benevolent also?
Can you talk about the assumptions that you think people make about you based on your appearance, how you look?
For a while, a lot of people thought I was gay. Because we've just been so conditioned to what manhood is in this society, it's very disconnected from an African male. Growing up, I saw all types of depictions of black men, not just a black man in a suit, or not just a black man in baggy jeans, or a black man with a jersey on. I saw a black man dressed in Muslim wear, like the Moors, or a black man in West Africa who have wraps around their shoulders and wraps around their waist with gold everywhere. They see it and it's like, this doesn't look like a man to me. To live so freely and to live so unapologetically is not manly. You're weird, you're wilding, is that a dress? And you realize that there's a spectrum of how you want to express yourself. It's not just, this is what we do, this is how it's done, and if you're not doing this, then you're wrong.
What's been your biggest struggle?
Embracing my individuality. The way I was brought up is the group is more important than the individual. It's funny because I'm an only child, and my natural instinct is to do what I want to do. How I was raised is you think about the group before you think about yourself. So my biggest challenge is merging that, finding a balance in between that. I'm a helper. Acts of service is one of my love languages, so a lot of times when you help people, you put them to the front. But it's sometimes you have to seize things for yourself. You have to seize moments for yourself, and it's okay to be selfish at times, and I'm really struggling with that. For example, doing this, I'm a part of a duo, and doing this without him, sometimes it makes me feel, am I doing the right thing, I guess? So it's do I put myself first, or do I put other people first? There's another African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Also true. I think groups are made stronger by people who know themselves and put themselves first, and then bring that back into the group. That ultimately allows you to open up more doors for more people. And two of my favorite players, LeBron James and Michael Jordan, people were so mad at LeBron when he decided to leave Cleveland and go to Miami and start and play there. This was the decision that he had to make in order to bring more notoriety to himself, what he's doing, and what he's trying to accomplish. Then he went back to Cleveland, won multiple championships, started a school there, you know what I'm saying? A whole school for disenfranchised kids that came from where he came from, you know, and it's like, people love the end result, but they hated the route. You can't let people deter you away. You just have to believe in it and just go do it.
And what was the relationship between your father passing and this?
So there's like this quote that I heard probably months before he passed where it was like, a man never truly becomes a man until his father passes. This is the epitome to me of what it is to be a man. To me, that moment was, it's like the training wheels come off. And I know he's always here, he's always with me, but it's like, now you gotta just jump and fly, and you have to believe in yourself enough to do it and also be willing to live with the mistakes. And we went right on the road like 2 weeks after the funeral for like 2 months. Yeah, bro, it sucks, but you gotta go on the road 2 weeks after the funeral. And you can't be there for your mama if you're not there for yourself. It just gave me the time to kind of be alone, you know, even though I'm on tour with busloads of people, but it was still a moment of like aloneness to where I was able to just get more in touch with myself and realize that I'm the only person who's gonna make this happen. I just became so self-reliant. And I think a lot of people don't deal with death that way. I think with me, it just became a part of life. He was like father to like everybody, like all of my friends. They got a flat, he's there. They need to be picked up from somewhere, he's there. Meanwhile, he got a whole job. He got a whole sermon he got to write for the church. You know, sometimes he preached and people knew that they can count on him. It just showed me that if I want to be the person who I want to be, if I want to be that type of man, that I need to be secure for myself, first and foremost.
Or what has maybe been one of your biggest insecurities?
I guess my height. Tall people are treated differently. People listen to tall people. When they come in, people acknowledge them. People allow them to speak. People allow them to take up space because they do it anyway. I mean, me being a small person, it's like sometimes you're overlooked. People don't notice you unless you wear things for people to see or unless you hold like certain conversations. And with my height and when I walk into places and like I just have to just build up that energy and build up that strength inside to where I don't have to overcompensate, because I'm not a super extroverted person. I don't need to be the center of attention. I don't need to be the life of the party. You know, it's really weird being the center of attention at times, you know, like, because I was taught that it's not about you. It should never be about you. It's about everybody.
Is what you're saying kind of that you struggle sort of with being like a rock star?
Yeah, yes, I do. Like, I honestly do struggle with it, because it's like who'd have thought? You know what I'm saying? Like, Lil Me from West End, Atlanta, like, who'd have thought about it? That I'm nominated for Best R&B Song this year for a Grammy. Like,
amazing, congratulations.
Thank you so much. And it's difficult because, you know, I'm like a real purist. A 30-room mansion is not important to me. But if I could fill this 30-room mansion with people who I know are just monsters at their job of helping humanity, and we're all working together, sign me up. But like a 30-room mansion for me and my 5 children, that's ridiculous. You know, that's foolish.
What's your biggest fear?
I think about raising my children in different places a lot, just because of the way people of color and poor people are treated here. I say poor people because I'm not gonna raise my children in poverty, but you tell a lot about a country by the way they treat their poor and their old. That's weighing on me a lot. And just how people of color, how their cultures have been demonized and been pushed to the side. So people who don't have that type of awareness are basically lost. And it's hard to be as effective as you came to this earth to be if you don't know anything about your culture. I think I want to move to Africa somewhere. I've been to a few countries. Not to say that Africa is like a perfect dream place, but it's different growing up with everybody that looks like you.
Do you always carry
Not on my person, not always. I have small ones that I used to carry in my sock a lot, but this is really good for creativity. And this is really good for people who work in spiritual practices. It helps keep you grounded and protects you from taking in too much energy.
When was the last time you cried?
What's today? Monday? Friday. I was writing a record. Just had an issue at work where I work with friends. It's not easy, you know, the lines are blurred. And these friends to me are family. I just had one of those moments where I felt kind of alone or kind of felt kind of misunderstood. I cry a lot in my sleep. I don't know if that's normal. I'll wake up, like wipe it and just been like, damn, I had a good little cry in that dream. I'm thankful for it.
When do you feel the most beautiful?
Naked, right when I wake up in the morning. It's just like I'll get another chance, you know? So I think I'm really like thankful.
Yeah, what's your wildest dream?
To be able to freely travel and be fully embraced by the cultures that I encounter and to able to benefit them by being my natural self, to learn from them and to have my family be accepted and welcomed wherever I go.
Like where you have not felt that way in America? Or?
America just, it feels like a battered home, you know? I know for me, growing up as a black person in America, it feels like this is where I am, it's cool, it'll do. But I don't have that rooted feeling of like, this is my place on earth.
Why in your body? Why in your skin? Why in your journey? Why is it a good place to be?
And there's no other copy, you know, like handmade, custom for a specific purpose that I agreed to before I got here. If I was anybody else, I wouldn't be able to do it like this. It wouldn't work. So I appreciate the uniqueness and the gifts that I have and the things that I can learn. That's why.
Hi, we're Elisa and Lily, the mother and daughter creators of StyleLikeU. You can get the extended version of this interview in the What's Underneath podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.
If you were inspired by Olu's story and want to hear more like this, please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel over here. And don't forget to share this episode with any friends or family who could benefit from understanding that they are enough as they are.
And don't forget to click the bell so each Thursday you're reminded of when we've dropped a new episode.
And thank you from the bottom of our hearts to all of our members who continually support our growth. You can join them by heading over to patreon.com/StyleLikeU.